Hello and welcome. Fifth year LCA, how are we doing? We'll give this a lash, see how it goes. It's the first one, so take it easy on the criticism. Anyway, so we have a module to do on computers, okay, and it's called Excel. I'm going to try it out here. It might be very beneficial because you can pause and record and go back. It might actually be easier for you to learn this way. So that's why I said I'd try it for you, and we'll give you something to do as well while you're at home. So, okay, if you go onto my website, first of all, you've got mrmcgarry.weebly.com. Again, the free version. That's why we couldn't get MC in the McGarry. Anyway, long story. So, you've got all these files, and you go into, see this one here, ECDL web design. Click on that, right? And you have a list of all different files on how to do all the packages in Microsoft Office, you know, like Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all those ones, and Publishers and all that. So one of the big ones we've seen, one of the most difficult ones, is Excel, Microsoft Excel. So it's all to do with spreadsheets, also calculations, graphs, formulas. There's lots of things you can do on it. Okay, so when you scroll down on this sheet, you'll see keep going down and down, and you see Excel Basics. So basic examples for Excel, right? So if I was you, I'd start there, right? And I'd click on that, and you'll see the file pop down to the bottom. Okay, next step. Okay, so I've shown you how to get into my website and where to find some of these examples. Once you're in Microsoft Excel, or again, things operate very similar between Microsoft Excel and Google's version, which is called Google Spreadsheets, yeah, and we all have access to that. Okay, so in order to be able to add a list of numbers, there's a few different ways you can do it, okay? So one of the ways, let's just delete this and start again. See, that's dropped down to 0. Just put in some simple numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, on Excel, you know, it's great for loads of things. If you are working for another person and they want you to do up some numbers, it could be on anything, and most little businesses and big businesses use it. You mightn't have come across it much yourselves in school, but when you become an adult, it gets used an awful lot more. Okay, so the way you'd add these 4 numbers together is just click on the bottom, just underneath wherever you have the numbers. You can do them side to side as well and do the exact same idea. So click at the bottom, and then click again once, and then highlight and drag upwards. Now you're looking for this symbol, AutoSum, okay? So when you click on AutoSum, it'll just add them automatically there for you. Yeah, so that's handy, isn't it? So it's added those together. If you add them yourself in your head, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, perfect, that's right. Now, a good way of getting an idea of how formulas work in Excel is to work backwards a little bit. So let's have a look at the formula that was used to add these numbers, that the computer used to add them up. Right, so the formula that the computer used to add these numbers up was equals the sum of K1 is to K4. Okay, now you can do it that way, or you can do it in a more simple way that I'll show you as well. So that's a formula that will work to add up those numbers, but there's another one I'll show you now as well. Okay, so we'll go over to this group of numbers here. We'll delete the 10 because that's one I did earlier. Okay, so how are we going to add up these numbers? What formula are we going to use if we're using formulas? Instead of using this AutoSum, there's another way you can do it. You can actually tap in formulas into spreadsheets. Okay, and that's how they operate. They need formulas to operate. So they're different to Word and PowerPoint and Publisher. We've done a bit on each of those Google Slides as well. Okay, so if I wanted to create a formula for these numbers to get them to add up to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's have a look. So we put in equals. Always start your formulas with equals. You click yes when you're finished. That's that tick sign, that like, yeah, enter tick sign. And this one if you want to cancel it. So you go equals, always start with equals, and then go sum. And then put into brackets then, and go A1, because as you can see, the columns are at the top in alphabetical order, the numbers are the rows, and they go all the way down to infinity and beyond. There's loads of numbers there. So when you get lost on the screen, make sure you always come back up here to the top left of the screen so you know where you are. So that's called A1. Yeah, you start with the column. So A and then one across is the row. So this would be A2. That'll be the second box down. And then this box would be A3. And this box here would be A4. Okay, so that's how Excel operates, and spreadsheets and Google Spreadsheets. Okay, so where were we? So we're going equals. We had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 2 up here. And we're going to add these up. And as you saw there, actually what it did was just add up the first one there because we put in the formula just for A1. So we hadn't finished. So we go equals, sum, brackets. Now A1 plus, you have to go shift key then for that, which is the bottom left of your screen, the second up from the control key. And you go control, so you go shift and the plus sign. It's usually above the equal sign. And on some keyboards you have a plus separate, you can use that one either. And then you've got plus, so that's A1, that's that box up there, A1. Now we want to add that to A2, so let's put A2 in. And we want to add that one, and look at the way it's surrounded with, to show you that you're picking that cell, they're called actually, just so you know, those boxes are called cell in spreadsheets. Okay, and now we're going to try and find what would that be? A3, wouldn't it? So, okay, so plus A3, and we'll bracket that off, boom, and then we have 10, perfect. So that's another way of adding in Excel. Now, another thing you're asked to do in your key assignments, separate to that, is lists of items. So Excel doesn't just deal with numbers, it also can deal with lists, okay? And it's great for keeping databases. A lot of people don't use that program, Access Database, that's on Microsoft Office. They find it too difficult. So a lot of people will instead, adults and business people, not most people around the world, will use spreadsheets to create database. Database are lists of information, yeah? Okay, so here's an example of a list you might have, say, of people in alphabetical order, right? So if we take that out of alphabetical order at the moment, we'll put maybe the B up here, we'll put the D, I don't know, here, put the A maybe here, put the Z, instead of at the bottom, put it there, and let's say C maybe we'll put here. Okay, so we've jumbled up the numbers, right? So what we want to do now is click the column at the top there. And after you click the top there, you can see loads of options. You can cut stuff, paste stuff, insert, format cells, column width. You can change the width of the column. Oh yeah, that's important. So you need to be able to do that. So that's how you do it. You wait for that kind of cross. You hover over the right of the E where the line is, where the column comes to an end. Hover over it, you'll get that sort of a symbol. Yeah, not that sort of a symbol, and not that sort of a symbol. They all do different things, but this type of symbol, and that's how you create width in your columns. Now, if you want to do the same for your rows, which you're asked to do as a key assignment too, by the way, what you need to do is again go to the edge of that column 7 and wait for a symbol that looks like a cross, black cross. Drag down, down, down. Now you've got a nice wide row, haven't you? So, okay. So we're talking about doing lists then in terms of alphabetical order. So the way you're going to do that is click there, and you're going to look for options along the screen. Again, great advice for anyone working on computers is play around. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. You can always undo anything you've done up there in the top left. So play around with all these different features, and that's how you get good at computers. That's how everyone gets good at computers, is by trial and error and putting effort into look at the different features and see what to do, experiment with. Okay, so here I can see sort and filter, okay? So that's to sort letters and to filter out letters and filter out names and filter out different things. So we click on that one. Now it says, do you want to sort in alphabetical order from A to Z in alphabetical order, or would you like your Z's to come to the top and your A's to the bottom? So what I want is normal alphabetical order, A to Z. As you can see from our list, we've got B, A, D, Z, Z, C. Now let's click this, sort A to Z. Boom. Expand the selection. That means, do you want to go into other areas? No. I only want to continue with the column I'm on, which is just that one. So I've clicked continue with just the current section. I'll go sort. Because you might have loads of lists, you might want them all done at the same time. Now, there we go. Bingo. We've got A, B, C, D, and Z. So that's in alphabetical order in terms of where those letters would come on an alphabetical list. Get the idea? Now, it's still highlighted, so we go back up there, and if you want to go Z to A, this is easy. Just click Z to A, and then continue with current selection. Boom. There we've got Z at the top now, and we've A at the bottom. Right? Happy days. That's easy enough, isn't it? And that's some of your key assignments. So what you need to do now is you need to go into your Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel if you have that, copy what I've done here, and then produce it, and then save it onto your G drives under your name in the correct folder with the correct titles on the folders and the files. Yeah? The way you save as is file, save as, and then give it a name. Yeah, make sure you get the right name that you want on it. Call it Excel, adding and sorting would be fine. Okay? Okay, that's enough for this lesson. I'll be in touch with another one soon. Thanks for your attention. Keep well. Bye-bye. Right, okay. Just to prove that I'm not pulling your leg, here's the list of key assignments. And just so you know where to find them, if you click on more, and then you click on ICT specialisms, and then LCA ICT key assignments, I've showed you a lot of times in class. It brings up this photograph of your key assignments, right? So course code 825, module 11. It's called ICT, or Computers and Information Communications Technology. And then the module is Introduction to Other Software Packages. And you'll see here, we don't do this one, the Introduction to Database. Introduction to Spreadsheets, that's what we're currently doing. Spreadsheets using Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets if you prefer. Okay, and then we also, the last thing we were working on was Introduction to Graphics. So I used a graphics package to draw a picture that includes a variety of shapes and colors. Make sure you've done that first. I presume that's done at this stage. I've used a graphics package to design a cover sheet or front sheet for one of my projects. And we were showing you that as well. And yeah, that should be done at this stage too. Now, the other one, remember, at the start of the year was to create, store, and print a CV. So that needs to be updated, and a good CV for that one. I've used the notes on Mr. McGarry's website to make my own theory notes about computers. And where you find that, by the way, is on this same site. Just go into ECDL Web Design, and you'll see about computers for LCA, and that's the one you'd go into. And to continue with this, I have used word processor to enhance and format text, insert and delete text. That was using your skills. We call it Microsoft Word skills. We were showing off what we could do on Microsoft Word all in one or two sheets of Microsoft Word. And then lastly, I've used a word processor to create, store, and print a report or assignment for any module. So that's a report, remember, to, from, terms of reference, main findings, conclusions, recommendations. Remember, I gave you the list and you had it on your PCs, and I also shared it with you. So that report, obviously, make sure you've got that done as well. So obviously these are the first 4 that everyone has done, needs to have done. There's a few people, remember, that didn't have parts of them done. You need to finish those off first, yeah? Then next we did introduction to graphics and explained that. And now we're on introduction to spreadsheets. So the first presentation I showed you how to add, okay? And I also showed you how to change column and row widths, okay? What we haven't showed you is how to change a column for a particular currency, like the dollar or sterling or whatever it might be in the euro. And what I haven't showed you yet is subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So that's what I'm going to do for you now. Okay, thank you.